flashcards. I don't know what those are. Oh wait, there. So this is the pile that we know, right? And the Aziz, what is this? The Almighty. Yeah. So I know this pile here. And this is the one that we need to work on. And Mu'izan within. This is the dishonor. This is easier. I feel like I know that one. And Baru, the source of all goodness. Oh, let me sip some of my mom's water. Yeah. Delicious. I don't know why that tastes like lemonade a little bit. Okay. الظاهر الظاهر والباطن. الظاهر and batin we had in this pile, it means the hidden, so this is the manifest. This is easy to remember for me. العلي, the most high, the exalted. العلي, there's another one that's like that. الضار, the creative harm. Yeah. المانع, I don't know. The preventer, the withholder. الأحد, the uniquely singular. Yo, Mr. Bassett, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Or actually, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the stream. We're just doing some, last minute flashcard studying. Not last minute, it's not like I'm being tested. I'm just trying to finish this whole pile here. And so we could, because I look at the Arabic side and then I try to see if I know the English side. But now, afterwards, I have to, test myself to see the English side so that I get the Arabic side. That's how flashcards work. Like, you gotta know how it goes both ways. And then at the same time, you need to understand how the flashcards go in order as well. Wow, interesting. Yeah, Mirbasit. I don't know if you've seen me use these flashcards before because I've been at it for quite some time. But yeah, welcome back to the stream, Aris Scott. How's it going? Let's welcome the mother of believers. Yeah, that's me. That's Juwairiya. And that's really cool that's the one thing that you learned. I'm glad that you learned at least something from my lives because you know there are 11 mothers of the believers. There's Khadija radiallahu anhu. There's Aisha radiallahu anhu. There's Sauda. There's Juwairiya. There's Zainab, Salama, Sophia. I forgot. That's 7. There's 4 more. Mirubasi, do you know them? Which one are you then? I'm Juwairiya. Yeah, Juwairiya. And then there's 3 more. Yeah, 9, 10, 11. 3 more, 3 more. I forgot. Well, if you Google it, let me know. But yeah, the most forbearing is definitely Al Halim. That's easy to remember. Al Majid, the noble, the glorious, the most honorable, the glorious. Al Ba'ith, the exalted. No, the resurrected. Al Warithu, the resurrected or the inheritor, the inheritor. Yeah. Al Mu'id. I don't know. Oh, seventh one? I don't know, honestly. It's not really in a particular order. They're all mothers of the believers. But yeah. Hi, yo, Tyler Dyer, welcome back to the stream. How have you been since the last stream? El Mu'id. I don't know this one. This is the restorer, the reinstater. He restores all that was lost. So you know how El Jabbar is the restorer, like the mender, like he restores your heart. This is the restorer of anything that you lost, not just the heart, but like Health, wealth, relationships, faith, and power. Subhanallah. And Muhi, I've been good. What about you? I've been good too. Alhamdulillah. I had a great day today. Um, I went outside to a nice Italian restaurant. It was pretty good. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's about it. That's all I can remember. It was a chill day, alhamdulillah. It was good. And Muhi means the giver of life. So when you add a meme to it, that makes it a verb. And Hayy, as we know from Al Hayyu, is the ever living, right? Al Hayyu Al Qayyum, the ever living, the most sustaining. This is the one who gives life. So this is something easier to remember. And Nafi'u. What is an Nafi'u? This is the creator of benefit. So there's a dar and Nafi'u. Let's see. See, this is 91, right? This is 92. These come together. So this is the creator of hearts, the creator of benefit. How long did it take for you to write all those again? It took quite some time. Like a couple streams, if not like several. But Khadija bint Khuwaylid. Yeah, that's the first one that I mentioned. She was the first wife of the Prophet. So yeah, and Khabir is the all aware. And that makes sense because I feel like Air Scott, you're from India, right? The Arabic and the Indian language, I don't know what that is. Like Hindi, I think, or there's a lot of Indian languages, but I think khabar means news then, right? So that's like the two similarities. Khabir, the all aware, the news, you're supposed to be aware of that. 10 Safiya bin Huyay. Yeah, Hindi. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Habiba. Oh, I forgot that one. I said Khadija, Aisha, Sauda, Juwayriya, Safiya, Aisha. No, at least said that. Maimuna. Wow, you know a lot, Aristotle. Yeah, I feel like he's searching it up, but yeah, there are 11. So, and muntaqim, right? So we said that meme makes it a verb. Taqim is the Avenger. Yeah. There are 11 wives. That's the 11 believers of the mothers. I mean, mothers of the believers. So, Ar-Rashid is the guide to the right path. There's Huda and Huda, which is the guide itself, but Ar-Rashid is different because why? I don't know. It didn't say why, but um, Ar-Rashid emphasizes the correct outcome, while Al-Hakam focuses on the wisdom behind it. So this is talking about the outcome of the guide. And Huda is the one that guides like the whole time. Rashid is the proper outcome. You are the special one. You are one of them. The special one. They're all special. And welcome back, Queen. You know you're not late at all. Actually, the stream started like less than 10 minutes ago. So welcome back to the stream. How have you been, Queen? How's your day? Al Badi'u. So Al Badi'u Samawat means the incomparable originator. So there's Al Badi Al-Badi'u, that is the originator, and Al-Badi'u is the incomparable originator. So created everything with no prior template, no model. Badi'u samawati wal ard. So Al-Adl. I feel like this is something to do with justice, something to do with yeah, the utterly just, Al-Adl. Um, I'm at a city right now. What are you doing at a city right now, Queen? Normally seeing you streaming later than what it is right now. Later than what it is. Oh yeah, that's true. Usually start like a couple hours later, but today I'm done with all my anything that I have to get done, so I thought I might stream a little early, and Early for me is still midnight. So normally it wouldn't be so late, but since there's no school in summer vacation, like yeah, it's chill. Badi'u, not baddie, it's al-badi'u. I don't want to say which one because I don't want to give away my location. Yeah, that's fine. Don't. I said like, how come you're at a city? Because it's Sunday. Actually, no, it should be Monday for you, right? But anyways, no school, I guess. I'm gonna stay for the stream because I need to get ready for my computerized test tomorrow. Computering. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that you're gonna stay and like I could motivate you to study. So, yeah. Did you pronounce it badi? No, badi'u. So there's a when you look at this Arabic letter, this is alif makes a sound like an a. This is lam. If it's connecting, it's a lam, so it makes a l sound. Al, and then this is the ba, and then this is the one that stretches the da sound. This is di'u. Hope that makes sense. This is the ain. Ah, al-badi'u. As-samad is the eternal refuge, the self-sufficient. Allahu samad, lam yalid, wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. The eternal refuge. Very beautiful. Even refugees have to call in as-samad, but like even non-refugees, I mean, like you don't have to be a refugee to call in as-samad, you know? Everyone needs refuge. And muhsli. Oh, I heard it wrong. Okay, okay. That's fine. The reckoner, the all counter. Muhsli. So muhsi. I had I had my brother had a friend named Muhsin, and I had no idea it means the counter, you know? The all counter, the reckoner. So every deed you forgot you did, Allah has taken account of it already. So it's like kind of you can imagine somebody named Muhsin as an accountant, right? And Muhsi is the one who counts. And Al-Qabid. Use them in your daily conversation. I'm so tired. OMG, my school camp is in 2 days. Oh, are you tired, Queen? Um, but yeah, that's not. Are you excited for your school camp? Because you've been talking about it for a couple of days. Easy to memorize. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. The best way to learn a language is to use it in conversation and like talk about it with others. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to use words in conversation. Like al-qabil, what does this mean? The withholder. Al-qabil withheld your um yeah, I don't know. What does al-qabl withhold? Let's see. To constrict, to be a provision, ease, or opportunity. Oh, okay. So al-qabid withheld your job opportunities because your timing is in his hands and he has the best of all plans. Al-qabid. I want to know if you know what LCD means in something that I had to learn the first day of computing, or if anyone knows, you can try and answer. Lowest common denominator? I mean, that's not a computer thing more than a math thing, but it could mean something else other than lowest common denominator. But yeah, Arrow, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Hi. Very. So you're excited, Queen. Nice, nice, nice. I've never gone camping before, so I don't know how that would go if I did go camping. At least, most campsites have those bathrooms. So I can't imagine going actually naturally camping. Like you'd have to yeah, it's kind of weird. But it's natural. It's nature. Just I don't know. I'm just not very connected with nature like that. Al-Wajidu. So it is the finder, the all-perceiving. So he found you lost and he guided you. May Allah find us all in the straight path. May Al-Wajidu find us in the straight path. Ameen. Al-Qabid restricts our opportunities for the greater good. Al-Wajidu finds us better ones. Subhanallah. See, this is good to use these words in conversation like that. It is it something sort of liquid daily display thing? Oh no, liquid crystal display, that's what it means. Oh, okay, yeah. I would have not guessed that at all. That does not sound computer at all. Tyler used computer. I missed last stream. You streamed so late, Jojo. That's true, Arrow. I don't know why. I feel like nighttime is like my bedtime procrastination moment where like, if I couldn't stream the entire day, I would just stream at the end of it just so like I could, I don't know, not get distracted or disturbed or have to do anything, you know? Like otherwise I'd be sleeping right now. So nobody, needs to be here. Or, like, needs me to do anything. Yes, it is like the light that comes out of your screen, so then it filters, so then it comes out as colors. Wow, thanks for teaching us, Tyler. It's really important to know. Let's see what else it means again. It means liquid crystal display. Okay. So, المانع. Did I already go over this? I thought I went over this. Or was there another one that's like that? النافع المعيد الباعث المجيد. Alright, so as manual, I went over it, but I forgot already. This is date withholder. So القابض is the one who I thought that one was withholder. What is this? The withholder? Ah, they're both withholder. The preventer. So this is constricting, like he pauses it, and this is the preventer, like he doesn't even allow it to happen. He prevents you. If you ask for death, let's say, Ya Allah, if death is better for me, grant me death. If life is better for me, make it better. He prevents death for you, Like, you can't see the harm being prevented, that it is not deprivation. Have good thoughts of him. Ask him to prevent bad things from reaching you. And he has prevented us from so many bad things. Like the human mind, the human body is so fragile. And he has kept us safe for all this time. It's something so beautiful. Made cake pops today. Oh, nice. I made a cake today too. I made a strawberry cake and then I put some chocolate frosting. So it's basically like a chocolate covered strawberry cake, which is so cool. And I had a bite and it was actually really good. So, yeah, I guess we both had cake. Mine was box mix though. So it's not like official like from scratch cake pops. Does anyone know what ROM means? ROM or RAM? Because that's also a computer thing. I've never heard of ROM before, though. I don't know. I missed the last stream too. The thing is, I was outside somewhere. Can't tell you. Don't want to dox myself. Yeah, that's fine. You guys don't have to do that. I did dox myself on accident before, so that's really bad. Al Wali. So there's Al Wali. That's the close friend. But Al Wali is different. This is not like the friend. This is, I don't know, the governor, the patron. He manages affairs of the believers personally with great care. He is the administrator managing the entire universe, and yet he cares about what you will eat next. Subhanallah. Al Wali is the governor. He governs us and everything. He's the governor. Wali. Read only memory. That's what it means. Oh, I had a feeling the M stood for memory because of, computer stuff. Ask ChatGPT. Should I dox my IP address? Should I leak it? Even if you did, no one really knows how to use your IP address to find your actual address. It's just not that simple. At this point, Jojo, you should change Yuki's name to Snore Kamimi since Yuki's sleeping each stream. That's true. He's always sleeping. Like, what is this guy doing? And look at his forehead, bro. Like, every day he gets kissed with somebody wearing lipstick, and it looks like he's hurt or something. Sorry, I need to go for 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll come back to this. Okay, bye, Tyler. Yeah. And muqaddam is the one who does something. Qaddam means Let's see. We know al-qadi means the capable. So al-muqaddim should mean the one who acts upon that capability, meaning the dominant, right? The promoter, promoter. So there's the withholder and there's the promoter. This is talking about your jobs, right? Yeah, this is, no, that's 90. The promoter, المقدم, the promoter, the expediter. Yeah, المقدم got me any job, so I could even get promoted. He just tired from a full day of doing nothing. Literally, I don't know how he's so tired. العلي. So there's, I thought I did العلي already. What? البديع، المحصي، الصمد، العدد، النافع، المحيي. Or whatever. And Ali probably means the great, something like that. The most high, yes, the exalted. Al-Mubdi, Al-Barr. Al-Barr means the source of all goodness. Al-Mubdi, the originator, the initiator. Al-Mubdi. So there's Badi'u, meaning the ultimate originator. This is Mubdi'u, meaning the originator, the initiator. So he creates it first. So don't forget anything. Not even friendliness. Not the eco-friendliness, not even the cuteness. What am I reading? He doesn't forget anything. Oh, so like in the design of animals and stuff. Okay. So this is al-Badir. So this is the initiated. Alright, let's go over this pile again. See, should we do it like this? Backwards? So al-Majid. This is hard. Because I looked over it once. The glorious, the most honorable. And Mubdi'u is the initiator. Al-Barru, the source of goodness. Al-Ali, the most high, the exalted. Al-Muqaddim, the one who does. Keep practicing. Yeah. I'm trying to get it. I forgot though. Al-Muqaddim, the expediter, the promoter. Muqaddim, the promoter. Alright, let's put it back in the pile. Al-Mani'u, the patron. No, was that al-Muqaddim? What was Muqaddim again? The promoter. Okay, so al-Mani'u, I would say is the promoter. The patron. No, it's the withholder. So the promoter and the withholder, are these kind of the same? Promoter, the preventer. Muqaddim is the promoter. This is the preventer. Assalamu alaikum, Drea. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the stream. I'm confident I can't stay here very much. Tomorrow's my exam. Oh no, that's okay. I appreciate you even joining the stream for a little bit to pop in and say salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you success in your exam tomorrow and grant you an A plus or even more if you have extra credit. But yeah, don't worry. You'll do good, inshallah. Just keep studying. You can study alongside, but if it helps to study offline, that's good too. Practice makes what? Makes perfect. So, Al-Wali. This is the patron. Yeah, Al-Wali. So there's like Al-Wali was the trusted friend, and then the patron, the governor. That makes sense, right? A plus never got that in college for about a year. Dang, a year. I could relate though. It's hard to get A plus, depending on your major. I used to get it really easily back when my major was animal science. But it's not so easy when it's like difficult engineering math, complex of variables, that type of thing. But it's not supposed to be that easy, you know? The kind of effort that it takes to get an A plus in those types of classes is that you gotta have no life. You just have to keep thinking of your exams and giving it so much time and energy that you start to feel empty when you have nothing to study after school ends. That's just what I feel like. So it's okay to not get the best score as long as you're passing, that's good enough, even if it's like a D. Because some schools they accept D's for a passing grade. It of course it still affects your GPA, but no practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvement. Oh, that's true. That's true. There's no perfect, perfection to reach. It's always more to do. Can never hit perfection. Exactly, exactly. So al-qabid. I don't know. The withholder, the constrictor. This is confusing, man. This is al-muntaqim, right? That we did. Oh, what was it? Muqaddim. In the promoter. Al-mani'u is the withholder. The preventer. So it's the preventer, and then al-qabid is the constrictor. He constricts for a bit. Mani'u prevents. Wajid. The finder, the all-perceiving. Wajid. Al-muhsi is the accountant, the counter. As-samad, the refuge. Al-badi'u. Oh, Aries Scott, do you remember what al-badi'u means? What's sad is that I don't want to brag. In my school, I was a topper for about 4 to 5 years, never got second. Now I'm in a good college where all are better. I'm losing confidence more and more after every exam. No, I feel like that makes sense. Like when you've been at the top of your class for so long, and now you're just like in the same level of everybody else, it does affect you. But it's supposed to be better for you so that you could improve even better, even more. I feel like if it was too easy for you, if you're the best in the room, you're in the wrong room. That's what I heard. You can't be the best. Otherwise, how are you gonna do better? Means mother of believers. No, al-badi'u means the incomparable originator. So ba bari means the originator. Bari'u, and then badi'u means the incomparable originator. Al-adl, the just. This is easy. Al-rashid, the majestic. I don't know. Guide to the right path. Muntaqim, muntaqim. The Avenger, muntaqim, muntaqim, muntaqim. The Avenger, muntaqim, the Avenger, muntaqim, the Avenger. الخبير, the all aware. النافع. Yeah, to think that my school friends didn't study at all. Oh shoot. And they still did better than you? No way. That's bound to ruin your confidence. That's why your name is unconfident. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. We know the origin story of the name unconfident. Start again. So النافع, the creator of benefit. نافع. So there's no, I can't make any connections. نافع, like Nufais. There's a Quran reciter Nufais, and he's like beneficial, I guess. He made like a playlist of the ayahs of Sakina, and that's beneficial. Nufais. Muhi is the granter of life, the giver of life. And Mu'id, the restorer, the reinstater. And Mani'u, the preventer. Yeah. And Badi'u, the incomparable originator. المقدم is مقدم. Thanks for your motivation. I'm gonna study all day today and inform tomorrow. Bye. Okay, bye and confident. Inshallah, you'll inform us with good news. And yeah, you'll be okay. Don't worry. Inshallah. What matters is that you pass, not get the best. All right. Even if you were the topper of your class for the longest time, priorities gotta change. If you try to be the top again, it's not gonna. If it doesn't work out, you're just gonna feel more unmotivated. But you'll be okay, inshallah. Be the kid again that you were used to. The kid again, huh? المقدم is the expediter, the promoter. مقدم, the promoter. منتقم. So these look the same a little bit, but it's not. منتقم, the avenger. باعث, الباعث is the resurrector, the exalter, the resurrector. Yeah, the resurrector. الرشيد. I don't know. The guide to the right path. Okay. النافع. The the creator of benefit. المعيد is the restorer, the reinstater. المقدم, the promoter. المنتقم, the avenger. الرشيد is the guide to the right path. المعيد, the restorer, the reinstater. المقدم is the promoter. منتقم is the avenger. المعيد is the restorer, the reinstater. المقدم is المقدم is the restorer, the promoter. المنتقم is the restorer, the avenger. المعيد is the restorer. Yeah, المقدم is the avenger. No, the promoter. المنتقم is the avenger. المعيد is the restorer. المقدم is the not the restorer, that's المعيد, not the avenger, that's منتقم. What is المقدم? What is مقدم? Show Dr. Mayor Senior Papa Bunk. Hello, Aaron Kale. Welcome back to the stream. There he is. He's just chilling. Oops, daily work. Who's the creator of heaven? الباعث. No, البديع. So I regret when I actually, well, let me see, I started to do good in school because ever since my parents expected me to do well in my work enough that at some point this year the lowest even work could be was a C or B minus. Whoa. Ever since my parents expected me to do well. Oh yeah, I see. I think that's like, when you're a kid and you get a good grade, all you want to do is just tell your parents, "Hey, look, I got a good grade." And then they're like, "All right, do it again, do it again." But if you don't, it's like, okay, there's a problem now because you used to be good. But if you never started out good, they would get happy if you got a better grade later. But that's the thing. Your studies, they get harder every year. Supposed to. Where's his mousey? I don't know. Oh, wait, it's right there. It's under his hand right there. You see it? So there's his mousey. مقدم means the promoter. مقدم مقدم مقدم. منتقم means the avenger. وعيد means the restorer. مقدم means the promoter. منتقم means the avenger. معين is the restorer. مقدم is the promoter. منتقم is the avenger. معيد is the restorer. مقدم means the promoter. Alright, we're done with that. We know this pile. Ar-Rashid means the ultimate guide, the correct guide, the guide to the right path. And Nafi'u means the benefit, the creative benefit. Al-Ba'ithu means the extreme, the main originator, the extreme. Tell him you expect a better salary from him. My father expects good grades from me where my exams come near A plus grades. That's a good response, Aaron Kia. If he says he's not proud of you, say you're not too proud of him either. Where's that from? I feel like I heard that in a show. Like, yeah, well, I'm not too proud of you either. Oh, it's probably Ellie, like from Ellie and Joel, like in the house. He's like saying something, and then Ellie was like, well, I'm not so happy with you either. I guess we're both unhappy with each other. The Al-Ba'ithu is the resurrector. No. Al-Badi'u is the original originator, the main originator, the incomparable originator. How much is that in USD? But my mother only wants to see passing marks. Yeah, W mom. He earns 1 lakh, dude, per month. How much is that in USD? Gotta search up. She said, I guess we're both disappointed in each other then. Pixie and Yuki had that conversation with first couple. They went through all the conversations to get to this point. And Maniru is the preventer. Yeah. And Muhi is the one who gives life. And Khabir is the all aware. And Adil is most just. As-Samad is the eternal refuge. And Muhsi is the all counting. All counting. And Wajidu is the finder. And Qabid, what is it, Qabid? He said, I sure as hell ain't your dad. And now there's something area. And we are going in our separate ways. 1045.78 United States. Is that a law in where you live in India? Because over here, that wouldn't be too much. You know, I feel like every month, you should be making at least like, I'd say 3,000, like triple that. Or maybe like 4,000, right? Because 4 times 12 is 48,000. The poverty line is somewhere around 30 to 40K a year. But poverty is much more high rank, like high rates in India. So I don't know how if that's too a lot or not. So القابض I don't know. القابض الخافض الرافع I don't know. The withholder, the constrictor. The constrictor. الوالي is the governor, the patron. العلي is the most exalted, the all high. البر. Dang, I forgot البر. No. Sovereignty of all goodness. The source of all goodness. This is so weird. I'm like yawning so much at 12 a.m. when normally I stream at 2 a.m. Alright, so المبدئ بديع is the originator. Mubdi'u is the one who originates. The originator, the initiator. Okay, so the initiator. Yeah, Al-Majid. So it's like the glorious, yeah. Al-Muntaqim. Oh, we were doing this one last. It's either the Avenger or the other one, but I feel like this is the Avenger. Yeah, it's the Avenger. Al-Mu'id is the Restorer. Al-Muqaddim. This is the one that's so hard, bro. I keep getting this one wrong. Muqaddim. Do you guys know what this is? I might just end up joining Yuki and Snork Movie Town. I'm getting sleepy. Same, I'm getting sleepy too. If you go to sleep, Arrow, I'm going to sleep too. That's not fair. Just kidding. Al-Muqaddim. Let me see. Let me think. So there was the Restorer, the Withholder. This is the Promoter. Yeah. Al-Qabid. Dang. I don't know. Al-Ba'ith. Al-Baru is a source of all goodness. Al-Ba'ith and Al-Qabid. These ones, I don't know why I struggle with the most. Even yesterday, my sister was testing me on this one, I was getting it wrong. I don't know. Let's see. This is the withholder, the constrictor, and Al-Qabid. Al-Ba'ith is the resurrector. Al-Qabid is what is Al-Qabid again? The the withholder, and Al-Ba'ith is the resurrector. Al-Ba'ith will resurrect us on the day of judgment. Al-Qabid is the one that withholds harm for you. Even though there are other words that mean withholder, Al-Qabid means the constrictor, constricts opportunities. Al-Ba'ith is the resurrector. Okay. So we did all of this. We're done learning them. Next time, we're gonna learn them all backwards. So we see the firm, the steadfast. What is the Arabic? I have no idea. But if I looked at this and Mateen, I would have known. It means the steadfast because I memorized it that way. But we have to do it the other way around then. Next time, inshallah. I mean, Dolly dad too, man. Even he scolds me too much, but he never says no whenever I ask something, but not all the time. But yeah, he worked so hard. But nowadays, my father's health is getting worse, and his blood pressure stays high sometimes, and his sugar levels are also gets high sometimes. I'm just worried about him. Aw, that's pretty common in like brown families that they get those specific health problems like blood pressure and sugar levels, diabetes, that type of thing. Because it has to do with the diet and and especially the genetic makeup as well. Like it does have like a history in the family tree. It's genetic, but don't let that stop you from seeing the reality of how he treats you. A lot of people feel bad. They take in the abuse just because they feel bad for the person who's abusing them. But I wouldn't say your dad abuses you, but if he like scolds you for these type of things, you should have some boundaries too. And no matter how bad his health is, like your health could be bad too. He'd still treat you bad. He wouldn't care as much as you do. I don't know why that is. It's so hard not to fall asleep right now. No, Arrow. Okay, let's try to read a book that's very, very interesting. Let's read The Hobbit now. Because we're done studying the flashcards. Let's see. It's chapter 4, right? We stopped at chapter 3. Or did we not even start chapter 3? I feel like I haven't read this. What? Oh, this is chapter 5. Okay, so we need to start chapter 4. This is this one. So we stopped here. Okay, that's where the bookmark is. Yo, don't go to sleep. Bro, I hate elevators so much. Oh, really? Welcome back, Queen. And now, why do you hate elevators so much? What happened? Yeah, read book loud and slow. I'm a slow processor. Okay, okay. Right, so this is chapter 4 over hill and under hill. So, there were many paths that led up into those mountains, and in many passes over them, and many passes over them. But most of the paths were cheats and deception and led nowhere or to bad ends, and most of the passes were infested by evil things and dreadful dangers. The dwarves and the hobbit helped with the wise advice of Elrond, and the knowledge and memory of Gandalf took the right roads to the right paths. Oh, I remember reading a little bit of this yesterday, but I didn't finish reading this chapter. So, because they're so scary, like they shake and make noise. Oh, yeah, that happens. And sometimes people get stuck in elevators, so I can see why somebody would not like elevators. It's just more convenient than doing stairs. But you know what? Stairs are actually the best way to burn calories. Like, they're the most fast calorie burning thing you could do, right? So, long days after they had climbed out of the valley and left up the last homely house miles behind, they were still going up and up and up. It was a hard path and a dangerous path, a crooked way and a lonely and a long, and a lonely and a long. Now they could look back over the lands they had left, laid out behind them far below. Far, far away in the west, where things were blue and faint, Bilbo knew there lay his own country of safe and comfortable things, and his little hobbit hole. He shivered. It was getting bitter cold up here, and the wind came shrill among the rocks. Bowlers, too, at times came galloping down the mountainside, let loose by midday sun upon the snow, and passed among them, which was lucky, or over their heads, which was alarming. The nights were comfortless and chill, and they did not dare to sing or talk too loud, for the echoes were uncanny, and the silence seemed to dislike being broken, except by the noise of water and the wail of winds and the crack of stone. This summer is getting on down below, thought Bilbo, and haymaking is going on and picnics. They will be harvesting and blackberrying before we even begin to go down the other side at this rate. And the others were thinking equally gloomy thoughts, although when they had said goodbye to Elrond in the high hope of a midsummer morning, they had spoken gaily of their passage of the mountains, and of riding swift across the lands beyond. They had thought of coming to the secret door in the lonely mountain, perhaps the very next last moon of autumn, and perhaps it would be Durin's Day, they had said. Only Gandalf had shaken his head and said nothing. Dwarves had not passed that way for many years, but Gandalf had, and he knew how evil and danger had grown and thriven in the wild, since the dragons had driven men from the lands, and the goblins had spread in secret after the battle of the mines of Moria. Even the good plans of wise wizards like Gandalf and of good friends like Elrond go astray sometimes when you are off on dangerous adventures over the edge of the wild, and Gandalf was a wise enough wizard to know it. He knew that something unexpected might happen, and he hardly dared to hope that they would pass without fearful adventure over those great tall mountains with lonely peaks and valleys where no king ruled. They did not. All was well until one day they met a thunderstorm. More than a thunderstorm, a thunder battle. You know how terrific a really big thunderstorm can be down in the land and in a river valley, especially at times when two great thunderstorms meet and clash. More terrible still are thunder and lightning in the mountains at night, when storms come up from the east and west and make war. The lightning splinters on the peaks and rocks shiver and great crashes split the air and go rolling and tumbling into every cave and hollow, and the darkness is filled with overwhelming noise and sudden light. Bilbo had never seen or imagined anything of the kind. They were high up in a narrow place, with a dreadful fall into a dim valley at one side of them. There they were, sheltering under a hanging rock for the night, and he lay beneath on a blanket and shook from head to toe. When he peeped out in the lightning flashes, he saw that across the valley the stone giants were out and were hurling rocks at one another for a game, and catching them and tossing them down into the darkness, where they smashed among the trees far below or splintered into little bits with a bang. Then came a wind and a rain, and the wind whipped the rain and the hail about in every direction, so that an overhanging rock was no protection at all. Soon they were getting drenched, and their ponies were standing with their heads down and their tails between their legs, and some of them were whining and fright. They could hear the giants guffawing and shouting all over the mountainsides. So this is where they were. This is the mountain where the thunderstorms met from the east and the west, and it was like the ultimate thunder battle. And I don't know where they were hiding, the Bilbo and the dwarves, but yeah, that's the mountain path here. Pretty scary. It's even more interesting to think that this kind of stuff happens every day, like in certain places of the world. We just don't know it. What you reading? Hello, Saadia. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Assalamu alaikum. We are reading The Hobbit, and it's a pretty interesting book. I love how it talks so much about nature and the comfortable lifestyle, but giving that up for adventure and dragons and that. It's pretty interesting. Mm, I'm invested on the story, so I'll do my best not to fall asleep. But if you done hear from me in 15 minutes, I probably fell asleep. Okay, sounds good, Arrow. Do you love poetries? Yeah, poetry is good. Like, there's a lot of poetry here as well. Bro, we can't find our car. No, Queen, how's that possible? Here, call 911. I think someone stole it. Huh? I feel that's less likely. Over hill and under hill. What do you. Okay. So, this won't do at all, said Thorin. If we don't get blown off, or drowned, or struck by lightning, we shall be picked up by some giant and kicked sky high for a football. Well, if you know of anywhere better, take us there, said Gandalf, who was feeling very grumpy and was far from happy about the giants himself. The end of their arguments was that they had sent Fili and Kili to look for a better shelter. They had very sharp eyes, and being the youngest of the dwarves, but by some 50 years, they usually got these sort of jobs. When everybody could see that it was absolutely no use sending Bilbo. There's nothing like looking if you want to find something, or so Thorn said to the younger dwarfs. You certainly usually find something if you look, but it is not always quite that the something you were after. So it proved on this occasion. Soon Philly and Killy came crawling back, holding on to the rocks in the wind. We have found the dry cave, they said, not far round the next corner, and ponies and all could get inside. Have you thoroughly explored it? Said the wizard, who knew that cave up in the mountains were seldom unoccupied. Yes, yes, they said, though everybody knew they could not have been long about it. They had come back too quick. It isn't all that big, and does not go far back. That, of course, is the dangerous part about caves. You don't know how far they go back. Sometimes, or where a passage behind may lead to, or what is waiting for you inside. But now, Philly and Killy's news seemed good enough, so they all got up and prepared to move. The wind was howling and the thunder still growling, and they had a business getting themselves and their ponies along. Still, it was not very far to go, and before long they came to a big rock standing out into the path. If you stepped behind, you found a low arch in the side of the mountain. There was just room to get the ponies through with a squeeze.
when they had been unpacked and unsaddled, as the rain outside instead of all about them, and to feel safe from the giants and their rocks. But the wizard was taking no risks. He lit up his wand as he did that day in Bilbo's dining room that seemed so long ago, if you remember, and by its light they explored the cave from end to end. It seemed quite a fair size, but not too large and mysterious. It was a dry floor and some comfortable nooks. At one end there was a room for the ponies, and there they stood, mighty glad of the change, steaming and champing in their nose bags. Oin and Gloin wanted to light a fire at the door to dry their clothes, but Gandalf would not hear it. So they spread out their wet things on the floor and got dry ones out of their bundles. Then they made their blankets comfortable, got out their pipes and blew smoke rings, which Gandalf turned into different colors and set dancing up the roof to amuse them. They talked and forgot about the storm and discussed what each would do with his share of the treasure, which they got it when they got it, which at the moment did not seem so impossible. And so they dropped off to sleep one by one, and that was the last time that they used the ponies' packages, baggages, tools, and paraphernalia that they had brought with them. No, what happened? What is paraphernalia as well? I don't know. Yo, no, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Assalamu alaikum. Did you understand? No, you didn't. Earthquake happened on my first day in school. I'm in fifth grade. Dang, earthquake? Why? Where are you from? Oh yeah, Malaysia, right? I'm 10. What's wrong with that? Nothing. You're comfortable telling me your age? Nothing. Now stay focused on her reading. I mean, that's how much fifth grader usually. Um, that's how old fifth grader usually is. You better summarize after you finish. Me? Okay, so I'm not done yet, but to summarize, basically they were going through the mountains and the storm happened, right? And they tried to find a place, so they sent um uh, Philly and Killy to go find the caves. And then they found the cave and Gandalf was amusing them inside and they were just waiting out the storm, basically. And they were chill. Like this is them feeling safe for once, cause the entire time they were like dreading and walking, and their feet were hurting, and the cold, and they were shivering, and it was so bad. But that's what happens at the end. There's some ease, and yeah, Gandalf was taking care of them. They used their ponies, but I don't know why they said the last time they used their ponies' packages and baggages and tools. Like, what happened to all that? It turned out a good thing that night that they had brought little Bilbo with them after all, for somehow he could not go to sleep for a long while, and when he did sleep, he had very nasty dreams. He dreamed that a crack in the wall at the back of the cave got bigger and bigger and opened wider and wider, and he was very afraid, but could not call out or do anything but lie and look. He reminds me of Piglet from Winnie the Pooh, literally. The Hobbit is boring. No way! The Hobbit gives me Harry Potter. Like, there it can't be. Harry Potter. Oh. But, like, Harry Potter is more boring, I'd say. Like, The Hobbit is more interesting. Because it's so realistic a little bit, you know? You don't love Harry Potter? Is the DSI charged? Yo, Zuhaib, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Welcome back after so long. The DSI is not charged, unfortunately. But it's somewhere. I don't even know where it is at this point, but it's somewhere. To be honest, I don't watch Harry Potter or fantasy. Yeah, honestly, like this is the first fantasy book I'm reading. Just because all this time I've been reading nonfiction. So I've been reading like Islamic books and then also self improvement books. That's all nonfiction. So this is the first time I'm reading fiction because it actually is good for you apparently because you get to use your imagination and it unlocks some part of the brain that doesn't usually get affected or used when you read nonfiction books. So I'm just trying to, you know, get into reading in general just because it's good for you. Reading is good for you. But yeah, just like 10 pages left ish. Less than that. 6 pages.
I like Despicable Me and How to Train Your Dragon. Those are not books, are they? I don't know. Those are shows, but I like them too. All Harry Potter movies are good. Yeah, it's good. But I'm surprised that school doesn't get any breaks. Yeah, it's been kind of long time to be honest. Lord of the Rings over The Hobbit over Harry Potter. Really? I feel like The Hobbit comes first, but obviously, even if it comes first, it's like still you could prefer something that came later more than the original. But yeah, I mean, right now I got break from school. I have summer classes. It's gonna start in July though, July something, the first week of July. But yeah, Black Hawk Down is a good movie based off a book. Oh, so did you read the books, Ahim? How many books did you read? Can you count on your fingers how many books you read? Because I can. I haven't read that many books in my life, so I'm trying to get into that. The worst thing a person can do is to give up. Yeah, true, true, true. The only book I'm reading is the Quran. MashaAllah, Allahumma barik. May Allah preserve your memory of the Quran and yeah. No, I haven't read the book, only seen the movie. Oh, I see, I see. Because I know the Hunger Games are like a book series too. I've never read those books either. But at this rate, I don't want to read that kind of book just because I don't know. I feel like The Hobbit is more for older people. Because I don't know. The Hunger Games, everybody used to read them as a kid. That just reminds me of younger grades. I don't want to read that. Even though this book is really easy to read too, because I feel like kids read The Hobbit. But yeah, and it's also a map in COD MW3 called Baccarat, which was the market where the Black Hawk got shot down. Oh, that's interesting that you get to watch a movie based on your game. Have you played Modern Warfare 3? I have not. Unless you're asking Zahaib, I don't know. Do you know Anne Frank? Oh, that's a good book too. Anne Frank. I should probably read that. It's about that Jewish girl. I probably had to read it for school. I forgot though. Yeah, I have Modern Warfare 3 on my 2012 MacBook. Dang, Black Hawk sounds like a gun. We used to have the Lego of that guy. Bye. Okay, bye, noob. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, it was so boring. It's a helicopter. Oh, I see. I thought it's like a main character. Anyway, so let's continue reading, inshallah. So, turned out Bilbo was good to stay awake. Then he dreamed of the floor of the cave was giving away and he was slipping, beginning to fall down, goodness knows where to. And that he woke up with a horrible start and found that part of his dream was true. A crack had opened at the back of the cave and was already a wide passage. He was just in time to see the last of the pony's tail disappearing into it. No, not the ponies. Of course, he gave a very as loud a yell as a hobbit can give, which is surprising for their size. Out jumped the goblins, big goblins, great ugly looking goblins, lots of goblins. Before he could say rocks and blocks, there was six to each dwarf at least. Whoa! And there were a lot of dwarves, and two even for Bilbo, and they were all grabbed and carried through the crack. Before you could say tinder and flint, but not Gandalf. Bilbo's yell had done that much good. It had wakened him up wide in a splintered second, and when goblins came to grab him, there was a terrified flash like lightning in the cave, a smell like gunpowder, and several of them fell dead. The crack closed with a snap, and Bilbo, the dwarves, were on the wrong side of it. Where was Gandalf? Of that neither they nor the goblins had any idea, and the goblins did not wait to find out. They seized Bilbo and the dwarves and hurried them along. It was deep, deep, dark, such as only goblins that have taken to living in the heart of the mountains can see through. The passages that were crossed and tangled in all directions, but the goblins knew their way as well as you do to the nearest post office, and the way went down, and it was most horribly stuffy. The goblins were very rough and pinched unmercifully and chuckled and laughed in their horrible stony voices, and Bilbo was more unhappy even then when the troll had picked him up by his toes. He wished again and again for his nice bright hobbit hole, not for the last time. Now there came a glimmer
of a red light before them. The goblins began to sing or croak, keeping time with the flap of their flat feet on the stone and shaking their prisoners as well. Clap snap the black crack, grip back pinch snap, and down down the goblin's town. You go, my lad. Crash, crash, crush, smash. Hammer and tongs, knocker and gongs, pound, pound for underground. Ho, ho, my lad. Swoosh, smack, whip, crack. Batter and beat, yammer and bleat. Work, work, nor dare to shirk. While goblins cough and goblins laugh, round and round far underground, below, my lad. It sounded truly terrifying. The walls echoed to the clap snap and the crush smash and to the ugly laughter of their ho ho, my lad. The general meaning of the song was only too plain, for now the goblins took out whips and whipped them with a swish smack and set them running as fast as they could in front of them, and more than one of the dwarfs were already yammering and bleeding like anything when they stumbled into a big cavern. It was lit by a great red fire in the middle, and by torches along the walls, and it was full of goblins. They all laughed and stammered and clapped their hands when the dwarfs, with poor little Bilbo at the back of and nearest to the whips, came running in, while the goblin drivers whooped and cracked their whips behind. The ponies were already there, huddled in a corner. Oh, thank God the ponies are safe. And there were all the baggages and packages lying broken open and being rummaged by goblins and smelt by goblins and fingered by goblins and quarreled over by goblins. I am afraid that was the last they ever saw of those excellent little ponies, including a jolly, sturdy little white fellow that Elrond had lent to Gandalf. No, poor ponies. Okay. Since his horse was not suitable for the mountain paths. Hmm. For goblins eat horses and ponies and donkeys and other much more dreadful things, and they are always hungry. Just now, however, the prisoners were thinking only of themselves. The goblins chained their hands behind their backs and linked them all together in a line, and dragged them to the far end of the cavern with little Bilbo tugging at the end of the rope. There in the shadows, on a large flat stone, sat a tremendous goblin with a huge head, and armed goblins were standing round him and carrying the axes and the swords that they use. Now, goblins are cruel, wicked, and bad-hearted. They make no beautiful things, but they make many clever ones. They can tunnel and mine as well as any, but the most skilled dwarves, when they take the trouble, though they are usually untidy and dirty. Hammers, axes, swords, daggers, pickaxes, tongs, and also instruments of torture they make very well, or get other people to make to their design. Prisoners and slaves that have to work till they die for want of air and light. It is not unlikely that they invented some of the machines that have since troubled the world, especially the ingenious devices for killing large numbers of people at once. I think they're talking about the guillotine. For wheels and engines and explosions always delighted them, and also not working for their own with their own hands more than they could help. But in those days, in those wild parts, they had not advanced, as it is called, so far. They did not hate dwarfs, especially no more than they hated everybody and everything, and particularly the orderly and prosperous, in some parts wicked dwarfs, had even made alliances with them. But they had a special grudge against Thorin's people because of the war which you have heard mentioned, but which does not come into this tale, as anyway, goblins don't care who they catch as long as it is done smart and secret, and the prisoners are not able to defend themselves. Who are these miserable persons? Said the great goblin. Dwarves and this, said one of the drivers, pulling at Bilbo's chain so that he fell forward onto his knees. We found them sheltering in our front porch. To Thorin, up to no good, I'll warrant, spying on the prize to learn. Private business on my people. I guess thieves shouldn't be surprised to learn. Murderers and friends of elves, not unlikely. Come, what have you got to say? Thorin the dwarf at your service, he replied. It was merely a polite nothing. Of all of the things which you suspect and imagine, we had no idea at all. We sheltered from a storm in what seemed a conventional cave and unused. Nothing was further from our thoughts than inconveniencing goblins in any way whatever. That was true enough. Said the Great Goblin. So you say, may I ask what you were doing up in the mountains at all, and where you were coming from, and where you were going to? In fact, I should like to know all about you. Not that it will do you much good, Thorn, Oak, and Shield. I know too much about your folk already. But let's have the truth, and I'll prepare something particularly uncomfortable for you. We were on a journey to visit our relatives, our nephews and nieces and first, second, and third cousins, and the other descendants of our grandfathers, who live on the east side of the of these truly hospitable mountains, said Thor, not quite knowing what to say at all at once. I say all at once in a moment, when obviously the exact truth would not do at all. Uh, where do you reside? I don't know. I'm not living in Sierra Leone though. I reside in either my 2012 MacBook or DS cartridge. That's true. Okay. He's a liar. Oh, a truly tremendous one, said one of the drivers. Several of our people were struck by lightning in the cave, and when we were inviting these creatures to come below, they are as dead as stones. Also, he had not explained this. He held out the sword which Thorn had worn, the sword which came from the troll's lair. The great goblin gave a truly awful howl of rage when he looked at it, and all his soldiers gnashed their teeth, clashed their shields, and stamped. They knew the sword at once. It had killed hundreds of goblins in its time, when the fair elves of Gondolin hunted them in the hills or did battle before their walls. They had called it Orcrist, goblin cleaver, but the goblins called it simply a biter. They hated it and hated worse anyone that carried it. "Murderers and elf friends!" the great goblin shouted. "Slash them, beat them, bite them, gnash them, take them away to the dark holes full of snakes, and never let them see the light again." He was in such a rage that he jumped off his seat and himself rushed at Thorn with his mouth open. Just at that moment, all the lights in the cavern went out, and the great fire went off poof into a tower of blue glowing smoke right up the roof that scattered piercing white sparks all among the goblins. The yells and yammering, croaking, gibberish and jabbering howls, growls and curses, shrieking and shrieking, and the followed were beyond description. Several hundreds wild cats and wolves being roasted, oh my god, slowly alive together would not have compared with it. The sparks were burning holes in the goblins, and the smoke that now felt from the roof made the air too thick for even their eyes to see through. Soon they were falling over one another and rolling into heaps on the floor, biting and kicking and fighting as if they had all gone mad. Alright, I'm gonna have to end it here because I'm getting really sleepy. MashaAllah, sister. Yo, Rushul Sharma, welcome to the stream. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. How do you know I was Muslim? How do you know? Were you here before? The only under 15 had decent specs that you just got some news. I grew up so poor that my dad has to keep my sister. What? Um, that is disgusting. I don't know if it's saying the dad does it or somebody else. But either way, I have to hide the user. Should I keep reading? We're almost done the thing though. I might have to stop here. Shows Probs Geo Farnsworth. Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but he's definitely a troll. Like people, they all crazy. Like online strangers. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know why I'm so tired at 1 a.m. I usually stay up all the way till Fajr, but yeah, a grown guy in his 60s, and he's known for trolling streams. Oh, I see. Anyways, there's a lot of users online, so it can't be just one guy in every stream, right? Anyways, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Take care, guys. See you guys in the next one. Bye.